Hello and welcome. In this video, we will learn to style tables. Alright, so let me go to the website. Let me open up the main page, and here you can see we have a link. If I click on the link, it takes me to a new page where there are some data and a table, correct? So you can see this table. So we created this table using HTML. Now let us style this table. Alright, so let me go back, let it be minimized. I'll open pages, and this is my page. Okay, this is my page. So let me minimize it and let me open this in Notepad. Okay, in Notepad. So you can see here we gave the table a border using HTML. So we said border is equal to 1 and gave a border to it. So let me delete this. Let me delete this and let me save the file. And let me go here and refresh it. So you can see the border has gone. Okay. Now let me go to this and let me open the style sheet in Notepad. And here I will write the CSS code for styling table. Okay, I'll say table, and I'll say border width, and I'll say 3 pixels. Okay, 3 pixels, and I will close this. And save it. Okay, I'll save this. I'll come back to this and I will refresh it. But when I refresh it, there is no change. This is because we have not linked this page with the style sheet. Correct? So we have to do that. So let us do that. I'll go to Ginseng. Alright. So I'll go to Ginseng Notepad and I will say, what should I say? Link. Correct? Link and href, and in quotes I have to mention something. So I have to mention the path of the style sheet. So I'll say style.css because that is our CSS style sheet, correct? So I'll say style.css and here I'll say rel is equal to, what is it? Style sheet. Alright, style sheet, and this is done. Okay, so this is done. So let me save it, and now let me refresh it. Even if I link the style sheet, the style doesn't change. This is because I have mentioned the path which is not relative to this. So when I say style.css, the style sheet should be in this folder itself. Okay, in the same folder as ginseng.html. So we are editing ginseng.html, correct? So when I give it like this, then the style.css should also be here, but it is not here. It is up one level. So it is here. So to give up one level, we have to use 2 dots and a slash. Okay, 2 dots mean up a level. Okay, up a level. So let me save it now. Go to this and refresh it. Okay, refresh it. So when I refreshed it, you can see that the paragraph elements came to the center. That is because the style sheet is linked and it is taking the P selectors values. Okay, so we have given P, text align center and font family, correct? So here we have mentioned this. So all these properties are now applied to this. and so it is at the center with all these properties too. Okay, all these properties too. But here I'm not able to see the border, so let me go and check what mistake I've made. Alright, so not this. So the work of this is done. I've successfully linked style sheet with ginseng.html. So I'll close this. So now only the CSS file is enough. So table, I have just mentioned border width here, but I have not mentioned any style, and so it is not reflecting here. So let me do that. Let me say border style, right? Style and solid, alright. And along with this, let me give the color of the border and color, alright, border color, and let me say green, alright, green. So let me save this. It is saved. Let me refresh it, and you can see I have a border. I have a border for the table. Okay. So now this thickness is too much. So let me reduce it to 2 pixels. Let me save it. Let me refresh it, and this is fine. Okay. So you can see that the table has a border. But we do not have horizontal row separators and column separators. Now to get that, you need to use TD, TD and TH if it is there. Okay, if it is there. If it is not there, so let it be TD only. Alright, so let me save it. Let me refresh it to get like this. Okay, so I have mentioned about headers, table headers. If you have used TH, then you need to say comma TH. Otherwise TD is sufficient. Okay, so you can see we have a table. Alright, now let me zoom in. Alright, let me zoom in. To zoom in, you have to press and hold control button on your keyboard and scroll the mouse wheel. Okay, while holding control button, scroll the mouse wheel, so you can see the percentage. Okay, so I'm scrolling, and now it is 300%. Okay, so you can see the border here, but you can see a space between borders. All right, so space between table border and table data border. Okay, so these are table data. By now I expect you to know this. All right, so there is a gap here, and let us remove that gap. To remove that gap, we have to use border collapse property. Okay, border collapse, and value is collapse. All right, collapse. I'll say this, and I will refresh it. Sorry, I'll save this and I'll refresh it to remove the space. Between the borders. Okay, between the borders. All right. Yes. Now you know how to merge these three. Correct. You know how to merge these three. So instead of saying these in 3 lines, you can just say border solid 2px and green. Okay, 2px and green. So this will get you the same result. So you can see we have same result here. So instead of having 3 lines, you can just use this line and mention 3 values. All right. Next, let me zoom out to 100%. Okay, let me zoom out to 100%. So this is 100% initial value. I have my table at the left, correct? Left of the page. So I want it to be at the center of the page, and for that we need to use two more property values, and that is margin left. Okay, auto. Margin left auto. So left margin auto and margin right. Okay, margin right auto. So left margin auto, right margin auto gets you, let me save it, gets you the table at the center. Alright, so this is how we center. This is what we use to center the table. So left margin auto, right margin auto. So when we mention that, table comes to the center. Okay, yes. Next, you see, if we use width 100%, see what happens. I'm going to save this, and when I refresh it, you can see the table occupies entire width of the web page. Alright, so I have said 100%, that means 100% entire web page, width of the web page will be occupied by the table. Alright, so here I'll say 50%, and you can see that the table occupies half the width of the web page. This is web page, half the width of the web page will be the table. Alright, so if you need this property, you can use it, but for now I will delete this. Okay, I do not want it. Alright, so let me save it and let me refresh it. So this is fine with me. Okay, next let me align the text at center, text to the center. Okay, so now you can see all the text here are aligned to the left. I want them to be at the center, so let me do that, and I want it only for TED, correct? TED. So only the table data should be aligned center. So I'll use this and I'll say text align and center. Alright, text align and center, and I'll close this. I will save this and I will refresh it to get all the text data, sorry, table data, not text data, table data, TD, table data at the center. Okay, next property, let me show here. I'm not going to use it, but to show you the property, I will use it. So let me say height. Okay, height, and let me mention 50 pixels. Okay, 50 pixels, and let me save this and let me refresh it, and you can see the table data has 50 pixel height. Okay, the height of the cell, I can say, is 50 pixels. Alright, so you can mention with height and some value. Alright, next you can use vertical align. And see, now this text is at the center of this cell, correct? This text is at the center of this cell, but what if we want it to be at the top? For that we use vertical align and mention the value top. Alright, top. Let me save it and let me refresh it. So notice the difference here. When I refresh it, I am getting like this. Alright, so I made some mistake. Let me check it out. Okay, oh yeah, I have not put the semicolon here. Alright, I told you sometimes it works and sometimes it will give you an error like this. So it did not work now, so I missed it, and so I'm adding it here. So let me save it and refresh it once again, and you can see the text moves to the top. Text moves to the top of the cell. So let me bring it to the bottom using bottom. Let me save it and refresh it, and you can see it comes to the bottom of the cell. Okay, so let me delete this. I do not want this. Alright, so let me save it and let me refresh it. Alright, let me refresh it, or yeah, this is it. So let me move to the next one. I'll say TR. Okay, I'll say TR and I'll say hover. Alright, first I'll write the code and I'll explain you what it does, and I'll say background color and let it be teal. Alright, teal. Yeah. So let me save this and let me refresh it. So you can see when I hover the mouse over any of the rows, the row changes its background color to teal. Alright, so that is what this gets you. TR, table row, and hover. So you know this pseudo class, correct? So TR hover means when you hover over a table row, what should I do? I should show the background color in teal. Alright, so that is what this CSS does. So when you move your mouse over the row, you don't have to click on the row, you just have to move your mouse, it changes color. So let me change it to orange, let me save, let me refresh, and you can see the row is highlighted. Alright, so this is one more property. Next, let me show you TR, okay, TR and nth child. So you know about this, correct? Nth child, and I'll say even. Alright, even. So you know about this too. Yeah, and I'll say background color gray. Alright, and I will save this. So now we can see. Now we can see all. I'm not going to move the mouse, or let me delete this. Okay. Let me delete it, let me refresh it. So now you can see the even rows have this background color. Okay, even rows, even numbered rows have this background color. So background colors of second row, fourth row, sixth row and eighth row has this background color. Okay. So nth child pseudo class of TR and passing even and then having property value gets this. Okay, gets this. You can also change the odd row properties by mentioning odd, and let me say blue. Let me say blue just to show you the difference. You can see we get something like this. So this is not a good color combination, so I'm going to revert back, but you know how to do it, correct? You know how to do it. You can select proper color codes. You can use color palette and get proper matching color codes for text and background and use it to get a good looking table. Alright, so I'm going to delete this. You can practice this on your own because I'm not very fond of using this. So I'll save it and I'll refresh it to get like this. Alright, so these are some of the properties of the table. Okay, so now it is time for you to go ahead and practice the codes that we have learnt in this video. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and thank you for watching.